Merry Christmas Eve, Eve. We have some juicy tea. Let's go, Pumps.
It feels like it's Christmas morning because today the House is going to release their ethics report on Matt Gaetz. We have a sneak peek from CBS News, and I'm just going to hit the highlights for you. Substantial evidence Gaetz violated House rules and other standards of conduct, including, but not limited to, prostitution, statutory rape, illicit drug use, impermissible gifts, special favors and privileges, and obstruction of Congress. Isn't he a doll?
Here's my thing. I want to hear what Moses Mike, Trump's little Johnson, MAGA Christian has to say about this. I want to hear what all the QAnoners have to say about this, because you don't get to selectively be outraged. These are egregious accusations. And one girl was a junior in high school, a junior. My son right now is a senior in high school, and I think about the grade below him, and one of those girls alone with Matt Gaetz, and it is genuinely abhorrent and criminal. And so I want to know what all of the right-wing values voters.
Yes.
I want to know. I want them all on the record, particularly all of these Bible thumpers. I'm talking about Josh Hawley. I'm talking about Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio. And let's not forget that Trump appointed him to be the Attorney General of the United States. If an Obama or Biden did this, they would never quit talking about it. Even though he's pulled out, they would still be going bananas over it.
I know. I thought a lot about Mike Johnson when I read this report, because I thought, this is a guy that thinks he's Moses because he's so religious. He monitors his son's porn usage, and his son monitors his porn usage. It is family values, purity culture. My daughter gave me her virginity, and he is abdicating for Matt Gaetz, who by all accounts is a predator. Even Booster Box, the senator from Oklahoma that we call Booster Box, Mark Wayne Mullins, he is even outraged by Matt Gaetz. This is a bottom feeder sexual predator. Now he's got this new show on OAN where he's going to be the moral high ground. And two things I want to bring up, and this I find to be one of the juicier things. So Matt Gaetz, after he found out the ethics report was going to be released, and this is a quote, he filed, and I assume filed means with Congress, he filed a privileged motion to expose every Me Too settlement made by current and former congressmen paid for by public funds. What the fuck are these people doing? So they are sexually abusing people, sexually harassing people, and they're paying these settlements to keep the women quiet with public funds? Could the corruption be any more obvious?
I remember that quote, that clip we played last week of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes.
Saying, if you're going to release that one, release all of them. And so this is what's interesting for me. It's like, okay, we're all going to keep a secret that we're corrupt, that we're hypocrites, that all of our, Jesus facing forward bullshit is that. It is bullshit. And we're all going to band together and we're all going to promote this lie. Or if one domino falls, it's full-blown cannibalism. And what I hope for is the latter. I want the full-blown cannibalism. If you remember, Al Franken resigned his Senate seat because there was an SNL picture backstage where he's not even touching a woman's breast, but his hands are like this. And this is at peak Me Too movement. He is an intelligent, effective, consequential, really good senator. And so why do the Democrats fold like cheap suits when something like this happens? And then the Republicans all protect each other. And so if I agree with Marjorie, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Right.
But let's just let it all rip. Let's see what all of these people are up to. I mean, Matt Gaetz, the filing that he has, we don't know if that's true or not. That could be bluster, that, these settlements were paid with public funds. That's a extraordinary claim. It will require extraordinary evidence. And so I'll wait for my outrage until I see the evidence. But I think that the Republican Party, MAGA Republican Party, you have a criminal that was elected president that tried to give a microphone a blowjob.
Right.
We never talk about that anymore.
No.
He on stage during the campaign, and he appoints all of these other crazy criminals. And Moses Mike Johnson, big Jesus guy, big Bible thumper, wants to control women's bodies, wants to hide Matt Gaetz' crimes, abuse, sexual assault towards a junior in high school. So I want the Democrats to come out and just beat the drum that he is the biggest hypocrite, that MAGA Christians are hypocrites. MAGA Christians are an embarrassment to the Christian faith, because you cannot have a religious movement that goes and embeds itself into politics, and then the Democrats just give it deference. Oh, well, they're religious. We can't go after that. Well, yes, you can, because they've gone after our government. We must respond, and these hypocrites need to be called out for the hypocrites that they are. This is why they want to talk about trans people.
Right.
This is why, because all of the stuff that they're up to is massive.
Well, what's interesting to me is you bring up a great point with the Al Franken situation with the Democrats. Some would say that's integrity. Here's what I would say. These Republicans sit on their Bibles. They love Jesus. They have the fish. They are on the moral high ground. They are family first, family values. A marriage is a man and a woman. I mean, all that shit to high heaven. And then they're running around being the most morally duplicitous bottom feeders. And the Democrats get badged with they're supporting trans, they support gay people.
Grooming.
All
this
these things.
stuff.
And the Democrats allow it.
Well, and Matt Gaetz is the groomer.
Matt Gaetz is the groomer.
And I'm going to say that Moses Mike is a groomer enabler.
Absolutely.
He enables this. He is this is the most anti-woman party on the planet. They want to call out everybody else that doesn't agree with them politically and make it a wedge issue. And then when it comes to their own, they're going to cover it up, lie, and deny. And they have an entire right-wing media echo chamber that goes along with this. And it is disgusting. It is gross. These people are religious hypocrites to their core. Their religion is a sham. It is bullshit. They roll it out to weaponize.
That's right.
And they get these religious voters, and they use fear, because these voters have been primed their entire life to be scared shitless that they're going to burn in hell their whole lives. So they're super easy to manipulate. And they manipulate these people using the family values bullshit. And it is a layup to expose these people, and it should just be pounded over and over and over again. Meanwhile, we have a complete crazy man who was at CPAC yesterday,
yes,
talking about Hannibal Lecter again, who is basically Donald Trump now as the first lady.
Yes. And
Elon Musk is the oligarch president. He bought and paid for Donald Trump. You want to talk about prostitution?
Yeah.
It's at POTUS level. It's in the Oval, because Trump was bought and paid for by all of these oligarchs. So all of this shit is so bad. It is so horrific. And my only thing is, are there enough decent Republicans to stand up to this? And I have to say, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not in a big, I don't have a lot of high hopes for the Republicans to be good, solid citizens. I mean, let's remember, they are my best interest first. I don't give a fuck about my constituents. I want Donald Trump to like me, and I'm willing to put myself into a moral chokehold so that I can gain favor with him. And I do like that apparently I've been reading all weekend that Trump is furious with Moses Mike. So I think that breakup is imminent. And I just want to say, look what you sacrifice, Mike Johnson. You sacrificed your name, your power, your religion, your family. and you're going to get shoved to the bottom of the barrel good.
You know, Pumps, weight loss solutions are not a one size fits all. Some people are able to just moderate and exercise. Other people need a boost. How did you lose so much weight? You look fantastic.
Thank you. The secret for me was the GLP-1s I accessed through For Hers. They provide an individualized treatment plan and access to the medication directly to you.
Listener, Hers is changing women's healthcare by providing you with access to affordable weight loss treatments. Their holistic programs gives you access to personalized solutions like GLP-1 weekly injections that have the same active ingredients as Ozempic and Wegovy and oral medication kits. Plus, your personalized treatment ships for free directly to your door. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time for you to find the best option that works for you with Hers. Start your free online visit today at forhers.com/IHIP. That's FORHERS.com/IHIP for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/IHIP. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. But did he ever really sacrifice anything? That argument assumes that prior to meeting Donald Trump, he was a decent person.
Well, you're right.
And I would say, no, if you are funding Pray the Gay Away, which is basically psychological torture.
Right. Absolutely. Abuse.
And you are adopting some teenage boy and then that never is talked about again. And if you're taking your daughter to a purity ball and all this crap, and then you get on camera and you say, you know, God told me I was Moses. And so, I prayed about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Moses. That's what I'm going to do in Congress. This is a crazy person. This is a religious fanatic. And our listeners should Google. There is something called religious addiction. You can have a cocaine addict. You can also have a religious addict. And that's what I think Moses Mike is. And I think a lot of Trumpers are religious fanatics / religious addicts. And the Democrats have got to respond to this Christian nationalism because this is a large millions of people, and it's very prevalent, listener, in where we live. And these people are able to be outraged at Bill Clinton. And then when it comes to Matt Gaetz or Donald Trump or whomever, they're able to just completely have cognitive dissonance about it and just, oh, that's fine. It's really, really a dangerous group of people. It's a very dangerous voting bloc that wants to take away the rights of millions of people, and particularly this group of people. They have an appetite for cruelty.
They do.
There is an appetite to seeing people judged, that whole hellfire damnation thing. That's what Donald Trump is. His whole campaign is hellfire damnation. And that's why the evangelicals love him so much, because his breed of politics is authoritarian and their breed of Christianity is authoritarian. And so they are the perfect bedfellows. And I think they are the most dangerous people. And then you have these red state governors like Sarah Huckabee and ours, Kevin Stitt, and they go around and gaslight the public and say, oh, we're a top 10 state.
I know.
We are one of the top states to move to. And it is a lie. These are bottom feeder states. These are states that are horribly mismanaged, that do not care about the public health, the public well-being. They value money, 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 and business, business, business. And they want to give tax breaks to the very, very top, and then let all of the people that these supposed Jesus governors, Huckabee, Sanders, and Kevin Stitt, they should be fighting for the most marginalized in their states. But what they do with their policies is further marginalize the people in their states. And it's gross. They're hypocrites. It's disgusting. And I'm so sick of the religious right in America. It is a cancer.
I would say I'm anxious to see how the right-wing media is going to deal with the Matt Gaetz revelations in this report, but they're just going to, one thing Donald Trump did well. Oh, if it's bad about me, it's a witch hunt, or it's lies, or it's a malicious prosecution. Matt Gaetz is disgusting. And they are not going to, on the right-wing media, say he is guilty of statutory rape. He's guilty of supplying illicit drugs. He's guilty of exchanging privilege and favor in Congress, obstruction of Congress. They're going to go, oh, witch hunt, they're out to get him. I mean, it's just...
They might not even talk about it.
Right. Well, that's right.
They're going to talk about trans people. They're still talking about, like, I see that they're still trying to like browbeat Kamala Harris, and they'll talk about Joe Biden, and then they'll move and start talking about AOC and the squad and all these other wedge issues. And they'll get back to drag queens and book banning and all this shit. And it's just, they will probably barely talk about it. If you want to know how they'll deal with it and how their supporters will deal with it, look no further than Stormy Daniels.
That's right. You're so right.
They don't care.
They don't care.
The religion is performative. They use it to weaponize the public and to weaponize against marginalized people. And then when the religion is attacked, oh my God, I'm being persecuted. Right. How dare you? How dare you use critical thinking against all of my fucked up thinking? That's what they do.
You're right.
All right, guys, we'll see you later.